I'm not exclusively in the art world, and I'm not exclusively in the punk rock world. It's okay, every different kind of venue. And even on YouTube, you could hardly stop it. You know what I mean? So this doesn't piss me off, like some artists really get angry at that. But my thing is never about preciousness. You know, it's never about elite audiences. It's really more of a wide open field. It's very hard to shoot live action. I mean, many people do. That's why most people go to film school, by the way, to learn that. Cameras, you know, film stocks. But it is whatever, top heavy. You know, you have to have a lot of people. You have to have good cameras. You have to pay a lot of money at the lab. You know, you have to have people holding microphones, and that's fine. I've done that, but that's not my real goal. You know, that's not my aim in film. It really has to do with more with, as I said, meaning. And so if I could open up a space about ideas, then I would do it, either through archive or through live action. Now, sometimes I might not have the archival material to tell a story, so I had to put actors there. That's fine. You know, I like this idea of kind of confusing the issue a little bit. As I got older, I thought, well, invite the audience in a little bit more. You don't have to be quite so aggressive, you know what I mean, and open up a space where they enter in. And also, a lot of this really came out of my jealousy of writing, because of writers, novelists, because of fiction people, because they create a character, and then you can get into their heads. You know, you can have thought. You know what I mean? It's not just, yes, the United States invaded Cuba, you know, with the Bay of Pigs in whatever, 63. Well, yes, it was 61. Okay, yes, that's true that they did, but you don't get the point of view of someone who was involved, say, in the invasion, either the American side or the Cuban side. So I say, well, yeah, this is a great space, too, for this ideological battle that I'm talking about. So create a character, I call it a pronoun. Pronoun, he, she, I, it. So then, don't you see the space opens up? I call it z-axis. And so then you can, there's more engagement and more depth in terms of a novelistic use of subjectivity. That's my aesthetic. Like I say, if I was to be Jackson Pollock, you know, I want some more color there. See what I mean? A painter, you know, abstract. So more drops. So that's it. You know, like I say, it is an acquired taste. It doesn't try to kiss the ass of the audience, as we say. It's a hardcore, extreme, radical. Same thing with hardcore music. It's loud. If you don't like it, bye-bye. You know, so that's okay. It is what it is. That's the aesthetic of it. But I, you know, increasingly as I've gotten older, I'm more mellow. That's for sure. And I find it a failing. You know, that there's so much density. I mean, it's true, it's authentic as far as my vision, my experience. You don't have to hear all the audio. Oh, don't you see, you don't have to take it all in. You know, when you read a book, I never read a book to the entire thing. I can never do that. I don't have the time to do that. So you read books in parts, or you read a magazine in parts, you know. And when you go to that art show, do you see everything in that art show in that gallery down there? No. And so the thing is, you can take a little bit with you. You know, it's not about details. It's not about facts. It's about energy. It's force. It's about force. My films originally in the 70s and 80s were much more political on the face of it, in Succato. On the front of it were about imperialism. But increasingly, I became more involved with this idea of colonialism of the mind, of the imagination. Advertising, copyright, and control of the airwaves, and so on and so forth. But now, it really, more and more, in other words, they're political, but they're more grounded, as we've been discussing here, in human lives and human bodies. And so it's still political, but there's more of a human dimension to it, a human scale. It's not international, global, alert, you know, revolution, you know, whatever in the Congo or whatever. It's more about the revolution of everyday life. There you go. And people living, trying to create autonomy and freedom for themselves.